to just recap role play and how to prepare it. So here it is. First of all, you will get your role play card, and it will tell you your instructions. It will tell you your scenario. It's really important to work out where you are and what role you're playing so that you can kind of get into character. So you can imagine the sorts of things that you're going to hear and say in that particular role. So in this one, we've got that we are in a hotel. Here we go. Vous restez dans un hôtel en France. Vous parlez avec un employé or une employée would be because I'm female. So you are staying in a hotel in France and you are talking to an employee. So your teacher will play the part of a hotel employee and will speak first. So you are in this role, you've come to France, you're on holiday, you're in a hotel, and you're talking to the person who works in the hotel. So the first bullet point in this particular role play is a question mark one. Now, when there's that question mark on it, that's the one that you have to prepare a question about. Okay, so if you think about this role play as if you have been given a script, but instead of the script telling you exactly the words to say, it's been telling you roughly what you need to be coming up with and saying. And I will have a script as your teacher, as the employee in the hotel, and I'll have a script that is exactly what to say. And that way, when you say your bits, it makes sense with my script. So to start off with, you're this person in this hotel in France. You're coming up to me as an employee, and you are going to be asking me a question about renseignement, which means information, sur la région, on the region. So you're going to be coming up with a question that's going to be asking me information about the region. Okay, so the sorts of things that you could be saying are, have you got information on the region? Where is your information on the region? Please, can you give me some information on the region? So something that asks the question about information on the region. So I might prepare vous avez des renseignements sur la région? Or je peux avoir des renseignements sur la région? Can I have information on the region? So just something rather that gives you that, that asks you that question on that, or that asks the employee the question on that. Then I, as your teacher, have some kind of script that tells me what line I need to say here. Okay, now if I scroll down a bit, you'll be able to see. So I've said to you, bonjour, mademoiselle, and then you have asked me the question about the information on the local area. So say, for example, you said, vous avez des renseignements sur la région locale, whatever it is. And then I am told in my script that I have to give you an appropriate response. So I'd go, oui, il y a une brochure avec beaucoup d'informations, or something I might say. Then it's my turn again. Ask the candidate if he or she knows about the local celebration. So I would ask you, vous savez que nous avons une fête locale? Okay. But you don't know that I'm going to ask you that. All you know is that you have to say something about la fête locale, où et quand. So you need to basically just be able to give me two bits of information about la fête locale. So you might just literally prepare something that says a place and a time. So you would say, something like, it's in the park, it's in the car park on Wednesdays, or it's in the park on every weekend, or it's in the town centre in the mornings, or something. You'd have to say something about the local festival. So I might say, I reckon for that one, c'est dans le centre-ville mercredi, or something. It's in the town centre on Wednesday. Okay, because that's my where and my when. And I could even say la fête locale, c'est dans le centre-ville mercredi. So then I've got the whole thing in. But as long as I've said where and when, then I've answered my question. The question that the employee has asked you. So then, me as your teacher, I've got another line to give you. You don't know what it is, but your job is to say something about two activities, two details that you did hier. So you have to watch out here because it's asking you for hier, which, as you know, means yesterday. So you're going to have to talk in the past tense. So you're going to need to think of two things that you could say that you did yesterday, or an activity, but with two details about it. So you could say, I played tennis, it was fun. That's an activity in two details. Or you could say, I played tennis and rugby. That's two different things. Or you could say, I ate in a restaurant, it was delicious. Or you could say, I went to a museum and I went to the beach. Again, two things. So the fact is that they've asked you for activities. So I think here I would be to play it safe. I would give two activities for this answer. So I would say something like j'ai visité le musée et j'ai joué au tennis. Two things. Or j'ai mangé dans un restaurant et je suis allée à la piscine. Okay, so two details there. So then the next bit is you're going to be expected, I'm going to ask you something rather that's going to make this be the next answer. So something about le musée, une opinion et une raison. So you need to, the chances are your teacher, me, will say to you here, what's your opinion on the museum? Or have you visited the museum? Or something rather that's going to make you give this answer. So you just need to give an opinion. So an opinion would just be like j'aime, je déteste, j'adore, je n'aime pas. And a reason, parce que c'est, whatever. Remember, the role play is all about keeping it simple and not extending. So all I would do for this one is say j'adore le musée, c'est très intéressant. Très intéressant. Or je déteste le musée, c'est vraiment ennuyeux. Okay? And then the last bullet point here is your exclamation mark question. So for that, you don't know what I'm going to say, and you have to be ready to be really listening to what I'm going to say so that you have got an idea of what the answer could be. But remember, it's going to be something within the context of this. It's not going to be some completely random question. It's going to be something that a hotel employee might ask you. So what sort of things could we say? Maybe are you eating in the hotel tonight? Are you having breakfast tomorrow morning? Would you like a map of the area? Have you been to a concert in the area recently? I'm just thinking, I can't remember what it is on the script. So let's have a look and see if any of those were right. Let's see, exclamation mark. Ah, there we go. Exclamation mark. So, où dînez-vous ce soir? Where are you eating tonight and why? So that, you would just have to hear me say it and you'd have to answer that on the spot. Okay? So that's it. That's how you prepare it. So you just write your answers down. Okay? Short and sweet is what's going to win it. Making sure that you really pay attention to things like how many details they want, making sure you really make sure that you have said something about each thing. If it's got a time phrase in it, that you're getting your verb, your tense right. And renseignement is a word that comes up quite a lot. It's just information, as you know now, because I've said it to you. But there will be times when you're not sure about what a word might mean. And if that is the case, try and put yourself in the position of the role play and think, what could it possibly mean in this context? You could probably work this out from this about the region. You're asking a hotel person, what could it possibly be? Well, chances are it's probably going to be information about the region. But also, if you get to a point where you just really don't have a clue about what a word might mean, don't panic about that bullet point. Remember, it's only 2 marks per bullet point. Okay, so if there's a bullet point where you get completely stuck, you have to just try and guess the best you can. And if you really can't do it, then just leave it and move on to the next one. Don't spend ages stressing over one bullet point because that takes away your time. Okay, I hope that's been of use, and I look forward to hearing your role plays this week. Bye bye.